Hello friends, and welcome to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video. This is Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and today we are going to be talking about a small section of information that we got from the road ahead, and specifically that is going to be which territory battle map will we be getting in the future. Now, if this doesn't necessarily turn out to be the one that is most likely, really these are the ones that I want to see personally. Now, I do think that some of them have merit, and I do think that we could possibly be getting these, and I have chosen only my favorite battles that we could potentially see. Since the road ahead actually talked about the focus of this territory battle will be dark side, I'm really going to only talk about battles where dark side prevailed. And with that, I do want to start off with the Battle of Anolon. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with the Battle of Anolon, it is the final episode or the final story arc in the Season 3 of Star Wars Rebels. Now, this battle was really cool. It started off with a space battle against definitely Empire versus Rebel, and it was led by Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, this was really kind of a cool moment in the series because you got to see the rebellion take its first opportunity or its first moments to work together in unity. And that was pretty sweet. I really enjoyed that. The episode itself was, or the story arc itself was pretty awesome because the rebels went and got, reinforcements from the Mandalorians and from Sabine's people, and it was just a really sweet episode. Now, the reason I think it's the Battle of Anolon and not something like the Battle of Mandalore, which we will see in Season 4 most likely, or the Siege of Lothal, or even the Battle of Lothal, which again I do think we'll see in Season 4. The Battle of Anolon has taken place. And we do know that the coming information for this next territory battle will come out in the next week or so, probably. But I think they're going to avoid any potential spoilers or any possible spoilers. Now, I don't think that Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes really ties directly into the main canon. I mean, as we've seen, there are characters in the game that aren't canonical. HK-47 for 1, Nihilus for 2. Really, the Sith faction, there's a lot of characters in that. The no-name characters, the Trooper and the Assassin, are both not officially canon, I don't believe. Nihilus, again, I don't think is officially canon. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But the Battle of Anolon has taken place. It takes the episode walks us through different steps of the battle. There's an aerial bombardment at first. There's an aerial battle, then an aerial bombardment. Then there's progressively different challenges throughout the advance, the Imperial advance, and it would be interesting to see that in game form. I don't think that we're actually going to get this one. It's kind of a hope, just because I did like the story arc. It is one of those story arcs that make Rebels worthwhile. I know a lot of people thought there was a lot of filler in the show, and there definitely was. Space Whales, to me, was filler. It essentially came out to being animals that could travel via hyperspace. I thought that was interesting at best. But yeah, so Space Whale is definitely filler. But the Battle of Anolon was really sweet, and I really enjoyed it. Now, again, like I said, the Battle of Mandalore and the Battle of Lothal made the list, but I took them off because I don't think that we'll see them just yet, if ever. They're not big enough, and they don't make a big enough impact on the game. So, moving on, the next on the list is the Battle of Hoth. Now, you're saying, Thaddeus, we already have the Battle of Hoth, and that is correct, but we have it from the Rebels' point of view. And in all fairness, they didn't win. And really, and I'm not a graphic designer. I'm not a game designer, so I don't know what I'm talking about like with this. But it seems to me that we already have a lot of the main characters that were in the Battle of Hoth. We have Veers, we have Snowtrooper, we have Vader. Do we need anyone else? I mean, really? We have other characters, and I think that, I don't know, it just makes sense to see the Battle of Hoth from the point of view of the Empire. Now, that is kind of a lazy way to go, right? They just spin the map around, and, you know, instead of the Imperial or the rebels, you know, fighting off the Imperial Walker, it's the Imperials, you know, taking over Echo Base. I think it's possible, but again, it's kind of a lazy way to approach it. Because people, I think, would be upset, because there were a ton of really cool battles with the Empire, and I think while this is one of the more memorable ones, I just don't think they're going to go with it. So yeah, but again, it would be pretty sweet. It would be, I think it'd be a lot of fun to see that. Especially, it would give us, it would probably have to introduce snow speeders into the mix, and as starships for the rebellion. That would be kind of neat. Maybe ATSTs or AT-ATs for the Empire. Again, that'd be pretty sweet, but I don't think they're actually going to go with this. Again, this is on the list simply because I think it'd be easiest and probably the quickest way for them to get a second territory battle out, unless, like is altogether the case, they were planning 2 territory battles at the same time. 2 different teams at EA or CG or whoever were building out the territory battles together, right? But I don't think we're going to get Hoth. I think the next 2 are the 2 that I think that are more likely going to be the case, and I will go with the Battle of Jakku. Now, the Battle of Jakku, just from the movie's perspective, isn't really fleshed out. We know a battle took place. It was a pretty terrible one, and I mean that in the true sense of the word terrible. I mean, it was crazy, the amount of carnage and destruction that took place on that planet. But from the books, Falling Stars and Empire's End, both of those give us a great amount of detail about the Battle of Jakku. Empire's End really goes into depth of what takes place and how it goes down. Falling Stars is really kind of cool. It's more about the space battle above, I think, if I remember correctly. Both were great books. I recommend you guys read them. If you just want the 411 on the battle, then, you know, go to Wikipedia. That place is a gold mine of information. Love that website. But I think what we could possibly see is a Battle of Jakku. Now, one of the reasons I'm hesitant to this is we don't have a lot of First Order characters. Now, that could be remedied here in the next couple of months. But until we get that, or until we get those characters, I doubt, or I don't think that we're going to see a full-on Battle of Jakku. I mean, if you look at the Hoth battle, there were a ton of characters that were considered rebellion, though, that while they weren't necessarily on Hoth, they were a part of the rebellion, right? We don't have a faction in the First Order that's big enough to really have a territory battle unto itself. Now, all of this leads me to believe that 2 things. One, that the next territory battle will be not just from the dark side's perspective, but from the Empire's perspective. I think we're going to see an Imperial territory battle where we play as the Empire. So get your characters up, right? We have a ton of characters who have a vital role in the Empire, and the Empire's story. And this leads me to believe that the next territory battle we are going to have is going to be the Battle of Scarif. Now, the reason I say this is because we already have Scarif Trooper, we have Death Trooper, we have Admiral Krennic. we have a number of characters that could already get a bonus. Same thing. We have Darth Vader. We have we just have a lot of characters that we can use to essentially repel the Rogue One invasion. And a lot of those characters have been around for long enough that if people wanted them, they could be farming them. We know that Krennic and Death Trooper and Scarif Trooper are solid characters. They're really good. And it is possible, if not likely, possible that we could see the Battle of Scarif as the next territory battle that they give to us. Now, this has just been a few of mine. I think the Battle of Scarif is the most likely. Personally, others that I thought about that I wanted to see on the list were both Battle 1 and Battle 2 of Coruscant from the prequels. That would be pretty sweet from Episode 2 and Episode 3. I would also like to see the Battle of Endor, but I don't think we'll see a Battle of Endor because the Rebels won that one. I'd also like to see the Battle of Geonosis. I think that'd be super sweet. But again, I do think that this is going to be an Imperial battle. I do think that we're going to get more information about this sometime this week. If not this week, I do think that we're going to get it next. But before the month of October is out, I do think we're going to be getting a lot of information on the next territory battle. Also, stay tuned. We are going to be getting probably this week information about the Night Sisters rework and the addition. Again, I'm calling it. I think we're going to be getting Mother Talzin with 2 new Night Sisters in addition to her, but I don't think they're going to be like named Night Sisters. They could be. I don't know. We'll see. But with that, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what battles you'd like to see from the Empire's point of view, or would you like to see something from the First Order? The Battle of Starkiller Base would be sweet, but again, I think we're going to see something from the Empire's point of view. I don't think we have enough tunes in our arsenal for a First Order battle. Possibly we could see one, and I might be dead wrong. But leave a comment in the section below. Let me know what battles you'd like to see. This has been Thaddeus from Going Nerdy, and as always, my friends, stay nerdy.